All right, all right, all right. I think we are finally live again. It has been a long time. Been forever. I think this week we are going to do the our quarterly recap. Right? Quarterly recap. Let's pull up where we started. And where we're at right now. Because I know a lot of it has to do with wrapping up one level and then we can move it on to the next ones. But it's been a whole quarter of doing this. We started at the beginning of the year. And I know I was gone for last month, which I didn't plan on being gone the whole month, but we took a nice vacation. It was nice to get away and not think about anything, but we're back, we're here, and we want to get this thing going. So right now, I guess let's just kind of jump in to see where we're at and then compare it to our notes. Kind of do a recap for a quarter one, 2025. So our plan here is a 2D platformer, monster killer time, slight RPG elements, which we haven't really gotten into yet. We messed around with our physics here. It's starting to feel a little better. Definitely needs some work, but it's controllable. You're not too floaty in the air, which I like. I don't know why those projectiles are going the wrong way, which we'll have to work on. See that? Supposed to be obviously coming from the enemy. Why was it? Ow. That was weird. Let's see if I can duplicate that, because it just kind of started from day one. But yeah, since last time we were here, we worked on a projectile, like a ranged attack. Run away. So we got this random little capsule. Damages us. It knocks us back, which is cool. We can modify the capsule or the projectile with a different range, damage, knockback value. And all the physics here, that's definitely all features, not bugs. But yeah, we got that fixed. See some knockback. Can't see it here because I don't think I have the console shown, but I've fixed the triple damage we were getting from environmental. And I think that just looks weirder than it really is. I think they're actually sending out the projectiles normally. It just looks like it's freaking out. Because I noticed that before, but it was creating them right. The projectiles, they only go for a certain distance away from where they're instantiated. And then they disappear, so we don't get a whole bunch staying on there. If it hits the player, they destroy too. So this should give us some flexibility when we start making more enemies. Probably want to fix this. But yeah, so this is where we're at. We have a timer built in up here, which counts down from given time. Just every 10th of a second, I made a timer. Very basic, but I think it should do the job for now. We can make this a little more clean, advanced later, and especially when we start messing with the UI, which I'm terrified of. We can really try to get that cleaned up. But yeah, let's compare to where we wanted to be. Let me open up that scene. So one quarter, we wanted platformer with monsters, environmental, player health. We don't show anything, but we do have player health. We do have monsters. We do have platforms, we have a timer, and that's where we're at there. We have stats. We don't add them yet until we start getting to a level. So I think we really need to dial in how we want the enemies to spawn. I'm thinking to add just a tiny bit of randomness. I like a little bit of, I don't like unfair RNG, but a little randomness is nice. I think what I want to do now is set like 10 potential spawn points for monster. And then when the level loads, those locations are where the, say, 5 monsters spawn. So we'll have a script that for each level, total number of monsters to spawn, a list of monsters, because we want to add to that. And then we really need to start getting into completing levels, adding stats, taking care of all that stuff, which is going to be fun. But we're going to start having to get into the UI sort of things, at least basic, so we can make it interactive, which is fine. But yeah, that's where we're at here. We obviously don't have any art. We don't have any music. We don't have a name for the game. We don't have anything like that. But I really think where we're at now, game-wise, it's a pretty solid point. And the best thing is we've gone through this together, and we've done all the... Yeah, we need to fix that. We've done all the coding, the scripts ourselves. We haven't relied on AI or anything to generate that, so we kind of know how everything does work. And that should be good. So what do we want to work on next? What do we want to work on next? We have timer, level bounce. I'm wondering if we should do the enemy spawner, because I think I like that. On the map, let's create an empty here. This is just going to store all of our spawn locations. And let's create another empty here. Let's spawn location. So the enemy spawn will have a spawner script which says how many, and we'll create a list to store what type of enemies can spawn. So it'll have just a bunch of prefabs on there. And I think that'll be good to add some sort of randomness without being crazy in the locations. So for here, we want to have more locations than enemies. So our spawner will have how many total spawn locations. We'll just have an array storing all these locations, which I think will be nice. So let's set one there. And we'll do 10 right now. Probably too many, but that's fine. It's fine for now. Just make sure they're at least above the platform. We don't want any weirdness, and then they'll fall with the gravity. Awesome. Set one here. And this is, like we said, this is all just placeholder. All placeholder stuff. That's the wrong way. That's going to get us real confused. All right, let's do 6. I don't want to do that many right now. Cool. So we have 6 potential spots. Let's make a new script here. This is going to be called Spawn Manager. And we're going to throw that on our spawn. So in our spawn manager, what do we think we need? We need number spawns, and number of spawn is going to be the total number on the map. We need to store. How are we going to store the transforms for each of these? I've done it before when I was messing around. Because we're going to have all these. We want to store all the transforms of the children. And we want an array. Let me just get the right format. Array Unity syntax. Okay, arrays, multiple objects in a single variable. This would be a trend. No, I don't want that. What is the syntax here? It's not a vector 3 though. Can we do that? Does that work? Doesn't give me an error. Let me just make sure. How to store transforms array Unity. Oh, so is a list going to be easier? What's going on here? Oh, that's right. Because we want to store the transforms in the list. And then now we want to store all the transforms for all the children of the spawn object. So let's do what do we call that? spawn. Okay, now I need to start. Can we? I want to kind of set this at the beginning. Void set spawn locations. Oop. Not what I meant. And right on start, we want to do set spawn locations. Right off the jump. Okay, so right when it goes, we're going to set our spawn locations, and we can take the... I need to get the children. So let's... How to store transform of children in list. Yeah, we're kind of going through this together. No, we don't want that. I want to look at so this should be for each. Transform child. So if I do spawn, how do we set them? Oh man. Does anyone know? Anyone know? How can I look at all the children objects and store their transforms? Store their locations into our list here. Let's transform. How does this work? List. It's funny when you're doing any of these Google or search any of it, some of them sound so funny. Populate a list with the transform of children. Let's transform, spawn locations. Okay, so we want to add the children. And to list children. Syntax unity. This should do it. Okay, transform this. Is that gonna work? No, that can't be it. Let's see what happens here. Don't imagine that working. So we'll throw a spawn manager on here. Okay, it only did one, but that's fine because now we can do each how to do for each child. Loop for each child. Because then we can loop through one. Because that did take one, which is good. That doesn't feel right. How do we get it to loop through each one? I should go back here. I want to see which one it grabs. I'm assuming just this one. 11.56. Oh, it's just taking the... It didn't take the child of it. Okay. What are we doing here? What's wrong here? So we're going to add the get component in children. I think that's... What? What are we going to do? Okay, so we add... Transform. Comma expected. I think it's right to where we were before. So our spawn locations, it automatically, yeah, it takes the enemy spawn. But we don't want that. We want it to add the children of that. Why are we not getting the children? Add enemy spawning. Let's see, get component in children being transform of parent. Okay, pad range, get what's your transform. Let's try this with an array. See if this works better for me. So int spawn count. Oh, this is fine. This is fine. For in I equals 0, That's what we want to do. Let's just do a regular loop, for loop here. For, so, and I equals 0, I spawn locations dot length, but we don't know the length of it because it's going to change. Less than number spawns. All right, so yeah, this should work. And then I plus plus. And then this will be spawn. We also need to loop through the children. Wait a second, now I'm confusing myself. Because we need the spawn locations which are stored. Or transform of children objects into array. One line method to get an array. Is that gonna work? Oh, yes, it does, except that's awesome. It does take the parent though. So we need to ignore the parent. Because that is how the syntax works. It takes the parent and anything in the children. So how do we ignore get components and children, ignore parent game object? Let's see. anyone at all? What am I missing here? Yes. Yeah, I appreciate it. Right now, I'm just trying to store because, yeah, let me take a step back. When the game map loads, I want the enemies to spawn at their set spawn locations, but randomly selected from them. So I want to store a list or an array, whatever's better, of all the potential spawn locations. Then once we have that stored, then when it selects where they spawn, it picks from things stored in that list. So right now, we just have it set. The transforms are stored in an array for spawn locations, but because I'm using the get components in children, it stores the parent object as well. Well, we haven't figured that out. I think we're just going to go randomly select however many you're supposed to spawn. So each map, whatever level you're at, will have, there's supposed to be 5 total spawns out of 10 locations, and it'll just randomly generate which 5 locations will spawn a monster. So it adds a little bit of RNG, but nothing that's going to be crazy, so it's not the same time every time through. So I'm really just trying to store right now. So our game object enemy spawn here just stores all the potential locations. So all these are where a monster could spawn or an enemy could spawn, stored under our enemy spawn game object that has our spawn manager. So we're attached to this so it can get the children. Number of spawns will be how many monsters that it can. And our locations will be where they can. And this is also going to include an array or a list of the possible enemies that can spawn on that map. So if there's 3 potential enemies, it's going to select a spawn point and then randomly select one of the enemies, just to give it a little bit of variety each time we load up. So right now we're here, got an array. May want to make this a list. I know it's basic, but that's what we're doing here. We're just trying to learn together while we go through this. So enemy spawn stores all the locations. Correct. Enemy spawn here stores all the locations, potential locations. So right now we have 6 different ones. And really we just have these and we just want to take the transform from it. Yeah, and the way we have it now, it's because it's taking... we use the get components in children, so it takes the parent as well. So it does populate it, but we don't want this. mod as a component. Oh, I get what you're saying. Yeah, because I think the way this is, each one of these is considered a component, right? So you can steal the transform off it. Transfer is just the XYZ. I haven't worked in the other one, so I don't know exactly what they're called there. But that's my understanding. And like I said, this is my first foray into any of this. I'm just kind of messing around trying to make a game with the community. See what we can do. Inspire some people so you can go out there and make a game. But I think it's all the way this is. You have some in the works. Yeah, it's fun. Last one maybe a bit too ambitious. That when we first started this, we sat down, people on the stream and chat, and we were talking about like the point of this, we can't make it too ambitious. And because you keep wanting to add things and add this and add that, all of a sudden it balloons out into a AAA MMORPG that's never going to get built. So we really try to rein in the scope of this. Yeah, I mean, ideally, I would love to make something like that. But I just want to get a game published, and it's going to be crap, and that's okay. Get some art, get a game on there, push it out to Steam, get terrible feedback, or I mean, maybe get good feedback, terrible reviews, but get a game out there. That's the whole point on this. And then learn each time, right? As long as you're learning each game you make or each time you boot up your engine or script, then you're going in the right direction. Yeah, I mean that's what I'm not too worried about. People like weird things, right? You never know what's going to resonate with people, even if it's just a small base. Some game you think's crappy or some mechanic that you thought was a bug, all of a sudden people love. So there's a lot of people out there and a lot of different tastes, and that's what we're going to figure out, right? No, I don't want to do a course right now. I just want to know syntax. Now what? Oh, really? Are you actually commercially making money on these things, or just the number of people playing? Just a roulette machine and just press a button, collect stuff. Hey, that's not too shabby at all. 12,000 downloads? Heck yeah. That's awesome. I'll be there soon. We'll be there soon. Yeah, that makes sense. The mobile market's huge, especially for those kind of idle games, right? $3 whole. I mean, it's something, right? You're officially a paid game developer. And 2 times $1 page. Hey, everyone starts somewhere. That's so funny. Tech bros. Everyone's favorite. I mean, yeah. I mean, that's the dream. Get out of that world and you just gotta have one breakthrough game, right? It's coping to Brent. I think that's why I started this also. To get away from my day job afterwards and then can focus on something I want to make and something I have complete control over. Well, in this one, I'm kind of working with the community, so we all have control over it, but still something that I don't have to answer to someone else right now. And hey, it helps. It definitely helps. I mean, there is a world. I mean, we could just drag. I don't want to do that. No, I don't think I'll. It's like we could just drag the spawn locations into the array itself. Because the maps, you're only going to have to make the map one time. It's not like the locations get randomly set and then. Because then I could just do a random transform. So maybe let's just do that right now. So we don't need this. We don't need this. If we get in here, we can just add 6 of these. All right, that'll at least get us moving. If we want to automate this next time, that's fine. Enemy spawn here. Oh, why do I got these twice? There we go. Okay. Sure. Now we got all those set. Fine. Now we want to need to randomly select spawn locations. So then we're also going to have form, because this is also going to be an array. It's going to be selected locations. Let's have a method here. I have no idea where to start here. Okay, so selected there. We have to select a certain number, whatever the number of spawns are, from the transform. And store it in there. Yeah, I'm sure we can find some syntax. We want to random items from array. This should be a pretty common thing. I think everyone. I don't want it to be a No, I want to select a random. No, that's. Okay, yeah, we need a random range between 0 and the length, the spawn locations. Just shuffle the. Let me see. Because I'll need to shuffle it and then remove that one. I guess you do a shuffle and you take the first X number. Right, so if you do a shuffle and then we want to take the first 3. Hey, Mario. No, I went on vacation with the family and I didn't update everyone like a pro streamer or anything else. We kind of just bolted out and left my worries behind for a little bit, but we're back now. We're back. Should be pretty regular for a little bit here. Yeah. That's my bad. That's my bad. But you know, sometimes you just need a vacation, and took a long one. I can always use one. We all can. Everyone needs a vacation all the time. But that's why we're here, right? This is a little 2-hour vacation I have once a week. I don't know when you hopped on, Mario, but we're working on setting the random spawn for our enemies now in our map. So we got potential spawn locations throughout the map, and then we want to select where the enemies spawn based on the map. Each map, depending on how we design it, will have a certain number of monsters that can spawn. So we got an array that stores all of our locations, the number of spawns, and now we are working on selecting randomly from that array. Nice. Yeah, but now I think we're just going to find a way to shuffle it and then take the first from 0 to x minus 1 or whatever. Selected. I really need to update. I think I have some some controls that you can't post links. So anytime there's a, I don't. Yeah, I'm struggling trying to think that. So selected locations. Is that in C# or Unity? Oh, gotcha. Yeah. I think I found something here. No. Do I need -1 here? I guess, yeah, right? Yeah. Yep. Because it goes from 0 to whatever the number is. Okay, so that's going to pick a random in there. get that, but how do we place it now? That's fine, but we don't want this to go all the way up for this long. That's what I keep thinking. Sorry, I didn't say that out loud, but I just wanted to make sure that it didn't pick the same one twice. So I want to remove that one from the array. But I don't need this to go all the way to the whole length. I just need this to go to number spawns. So we only need 3 times. And then all right. I think we want this to be a list. Or just copy the array and remove the already selected element from the copy. Mm-hmm. Just copy the array. I just don't know how to. I'm trying to think how to do that. Remove the already selected. So. We just destroy the game object? Because these only need to be Creates. Oh, okay. So if we do. Does that work just right here? Creates a copy as a list. Oh, okay. So if we do this here, I forget the. I need to store it like this. Oh, there we go. Okay. Okay, so now we have it into a list. Now we can remove. Spawn locations. Is that gonna work? So removes it from the list. but then it's going to go back up. Oh, it's just the list. Use the list and takes the item from the list. Use the list length and take the item from the list. Like, can we just... I feel like we can store everything in a list right here. Why is my brain not working? Okay, let's go back to where we were. I don't know if you ever get really tired and you can just feel your brain bogging down and not working. Okay, let's go back to here. All right, so we have a list that makes it from the spawn locations to list. Spawn locations we set at the beginning by dragging them in there. Yes. So we got the random one, so that's fine there. Yes. Can you do... Can you take the length of a list? Let me... Oh, count. That's it. That's it. That's it. You right. You right. Count. Okay, that's fine. The thing is, every time it goes... I guess in here, we're good. Yeah, every time we do it, that's fine. And then we got to remove it from the list here. Is this gonna... The other two liney two. What are you talking? The other two liney two? Okay. Number of spawns. That's fine. Random range count -1. Locations. This list. Right. This is what we're talking about. Yeah, sorry. How do we pull? Oh, you can use, sorry, for some reason I didn't think you could use these brackets on a list. Selected location list. It's because that's not supposed to be there. Right? That seems good, right? Okay, okay. No, that all came to me at the end. It started clicking. Let's see. Let's run this baby. And let's see what our selected locations. Nothing pops up. Nothing pops up. Why? Why didn't anything pop up? No, that felt good to me too. Crap. That's why. Oh gosh. Okay. You have to call that. See, that's why we're here together. That's the thing with it, is you actually have to call it for it to do anything. All right. Now what's going on? Spawn location. Spawn locations. Which spawn location? Is anything using the selected locations array? Something will be. Yeah, the selected locations array will be pulled for the enemy's spawn location. But right now, no, nothing used in it. All right, let's just do a debug here. Make sure it's getting to this point. All right, we got errors. We got errors. The index is outside the bounds of the array. Line 29. Okay, this is outside the bounds of the array. Selected locations. Yes. That's what's going on. Like that. Right? Is that what's going on here? Beautiful. We did it. Okay. So 1, 2, and 0. You're totally right. 0, 3, 4. Okay. And everything coming in random. We're looking good there. Nice. Okay. So after it selects spawn locations, we need to now we need to spawn enemies. All right, all right. So if we want to do multiple and respawn, no, let's do, if we want to do different enemies that can spawn, do we want to store them in a list or an array that I can pull from? I guess. Yeah, if numbers change, the list is better. I don't, this one, the number won't change. And this could be the prefabs of all the enemies. That makes sense. You can't really, it's hard to pull in and out of arrays. Lists you can just delete. And this is Okay, so we got enemy spawn object. So that's going to be storing our things. It's going to take the length. It's going to choose a random range. Each of the transforms in spawn locations. We want to instantiate that game object that is stored in that list. All right, object is, how do we pull it from that one? Enemy spawn object. Okay. Transform is, how do I make spawn? Is it going to do this every time? It should for each. I want to see what this does. So let me duplicate this enemy one. Where's your material? Call it. Okay. Spawn objects. So we okay, 2 different types. We have 6 of these. So let's actually just do 6. And we'll see if we get different colored enemies. When you got Jack. Did I not? Oh, I didn't call it again. Is that what you're saying? Oh, that's so funny. It's a lot. Geez, we're getting wrecked. That's a lot of the same color. Seems very, why are they just flying through everything? Oh. That's why I got something with the collider and the platforms. Don't I? Because you're excluding platforms. That's fine, we can figure that out. So the players, looks like you exclude platforms. That's fine. Okay, so it's only doing 1, and it's always selecting enemy 1. We spent length. Spawn locations. It's fine. That's this. This is already. We set that when we drag the potential one, so that already has a length. So that's fine. It's this for each. Spawn location worked fine too, actually. It just wasn't doing. It's only doing this one time. It's only doing that one time, so we need to. How do we? Try that. Let's do 4 spawns, make sure that's. Okay, now. Oh, wait. Let's get rid of this guy. Doesn't need to be there. 1, 2, 5. Why is there 5 of them? Shouldn't there only be 4? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You know what? It's because less than number of spawns. So it shouldn't go all the way up to 0, 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. One, 2, 3, 4. Why is it spawning 5? Less than number of spawns. Number of spawns was 4. So 0, it should be less than 4. It should only go to 3. So that should be spawning 4 of them. Where are we getting 5? What's going on here? Why are we getting 5 of them? Everything else seemed fine. Where's number of spawns set? It's a public number of spawns up here. And that is just set on our actual spawn. We're setting it right here. So number of spawns should be set to 4 here. And that is pulled here. Well, let's do this real quick. Yeah, and it's doing 4 in our selected locations, which is pulling from our number set. 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it's doing 1 at each still. Wait, okay. So for each. Oh. This should be selected locations. 1, 2, 3, 4. Get out of here. Yeah, buddy. There we go. Now we got it. Now we just need to make it so they don't fall through the floor. So we need to add a do our enemies have a platform check? Grounded check. Yeah, we just need trigger. Platform check. Oh man, it's been a while since I messed with that. Because on our enemy, we have our box collider, that's our enemy, but we want that to ignore the platform so it doesn't run into it. And we want it to be a collider so we can actually bump into it. What we have on the player is platform check here. Is that what we did? Okay. Hey. But I want to pause. I need to set all these higher. I want them to land on the platform. Where's this one at? Don't want you to fall through. On the platform. Didn't do it at all what I wanted. For this guy, enemy clone. That's fine. Enemy clone. Does it say you're grounded? Enemy movement. Ground check. Hey, why are you floating? Oh, get away. We got too much projectiles. What's your projectile? That's why. Set that to 2 seconds, 2 seconds. Why can't I move? There we go. It ain't the prettiest thing yet. But look, it's doing what we want. Spawn. Tom decided to stay, that's good. He's gonna fall down. Got random ones spawning. Lovely. Lovely. Look at that. I think that's a lot of progress actually today. Doesn't seem like it necessarily, but that's a pretty big mechanic that we've... I mean, we got it working. We'll figure it out and clean it up, but... Heck yeah. Still... Yeah, no, I appreciate it. Thanks for all your help today. It was a good time. I like working with other people. It's fun when we get the chat involved and figure this out together. Yeah, have fun in your meeting. Hope it's not too soul-crushing. All right, what should we work on now? What do we want to do now? Always is. Could have been an email, I bet. Could have been an email. I want to... I almost got to go too, actually, today. Could have been a beating. Oh. What is next? We got that. We got the enemy spawn. We need to clean up the enemy. We have the environmental damage. We got that fixed. We do need to work on the enemy pathfinding. I don't want them to all just walk straight off the edge of the platforms, but we can work on that in a little bit, because that's just going to be on the enemy movement script, which was attached to everything. So that's easy to update for all of them. We have a ranged attack. We need to add a player ranged attack, but only when we get... We need to work on moving to the next level, I think is actually what we need to do. So map, we need to just create empty right here. Actually, let's do create. Let's do cylinder. This doesn't have to be a cylinder, but I'm just going to do it for now. And this is going to be called level endpoint. Endpoint, and this is just going to be a trigger. We'll set it over here or something. So this is what, when we get to the end, we have to, it's going to check criteria. All the enemies are gone. And that we made it in, that we're inside the box. Those two things are met, it'll stop the timer. And that's good. So, and then it'll also move once we get to it to the level completion phase, which will be what stat point you want to add, what skill, whatever it is for that level. And it'll tell us what level we move next. So level endpoint, let's go ahead and just duplicate right here. Give it some color. Saying level end, you want to be bright yellow. Material. There we go. Wonderful. That's where we want to get to. So we need a script that's for the finished level. So if it checks on trigger enter, it checks total number of game objects with the enemy tag, which we'll need to make sure, because the enemies all spawn as, I guess we check enemy spawn, the children in it, if they have the tag enemy. And we just count. If it's 0, we're good. And then it'll stop the clock. It'll store that and it'll move to our player thing. But I think we'll do that next time. I'm going to save everything. I need to get out of here today. It was good to be back. Made a lot of progress. It was fun being here with everyone again. And save. And we'll pick this up next week. I'm hoping, I've said this every time, to start making this more regular, but we'll see. So appreciate everyone for stopping by today. Yeah. See you next week. Same time between 8:30 and 9. Yeah. PST or PDT, I guess. Daylight time. It's usually when I can get on. Sorry, it's not on the dot at this point.